Hello to all of our phenomenal viewers, listeners, and supporters. I am your host, Donald, and I am so excited to be here. Welcome to another episode of Connected, where we discuss all things mental health, recovery, employment, and stories. In this episode, we are talking with Luis Marroquin, a rebel in his own right. Born in Bogota, Colombia, Luis migrated to the United States at a young age and faced many of life's challenges, such as mental health and alcohol addiction. Through his trials and tribulations, he was able to find the light at the end of the tunnel. Luis found purpose in helping others by co creating the Peaceful Warriors, an organization dedicated to helping men, especially men of color, heal from trauma, break harmful cycles, and build stronger communities. Through his work with NAMI, his mission goes beyond recovery. He strives to inspire men, honor and protect women, and help create a safe, healthy future for generations to come. Today, we're going to hear his story, talk about healing, masculinity, mental health, recovery, and the work he is doing to create meaningful change. So without further ado, let us welcome the incomparable Luis Marroquin. How are you?
I'm good, Donald. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Thank you, Connection House, for inviting me. And I'm excited. I'm excited to do this interview.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you here. First of all, thank you for your time. It's a pleasure to have you. So, let us start from the very beginning. So, why don't you tell me a little bit who you are and what your life was like growing up?
Who I am? Well, I'm a human being at first, and I identify as a man of color, indigenous to the Americas. And upbringing for me, as you said, I was born in Colombia, and my family migrated to San Francisco in the late 60s. I grew up there as a kid, and I grew up out here in Concord as well. And I bounced around a lot from San Francisco to Oakland to Pittsburgh to Concord to Antioch, back to Oakland to San Francisco, back and forth. And I traveled through work, and I was able to live in Chicago, New York, and Texas. But yeah, growing up in a abusive, my father was a broken man and old school machismo, but he suffered a lot of abuse that affected him mentally. But these were things that were not talked about. There was no language around it back then. And so yeah, my siblings, my mother and I, we endured a lot, and it took a toll on us. So we all suffered PTSD, uh, mental stuff, and so for me, it my way of escaping was like just being rebellious, and I did like almost what every adolescent and teenager does is, go and party and leave home and just don't do what the parents say. And but it was pretty abusive, so I held a lot of stuff in, and I coped with like a lot of alcohol and drugs, but alcohol was my main choice. And yeah, through that it was uh just questioning a lot of like a lot of things, but really didn't have anybody to talk to. My friends, not really. I had one good friend um I shared things with. So I'm grateful for him. His name was Tony Feliciano. He left us at, yeah, when I was 26. He died from health causes, but he was the only friend. And I've been thinking about him a lot lately,
Mm,
and how I didn't value what he offered as a friend. He really listened. He was really there for me, and we just kind of drifted apart. So, but that was the person that I remember I could talk to, and but after that, yeah, no, just going through the motions as a young man, trying to figure out, his way in life. I really didn't go to school, so I just worked a lot in different fields, and but the alcohol kept getting in the way of relationships and work, and it just became something of a pattern. And my family actually had an intervention with me. I thought I was going to a party, but ended up going to an intervention, and I was so pissed. I was so pissed. I wasn't ready to hear what they were saying because I didn't think I had a problem. For years, I didn't think I had a problem. But I'm going to leave it at that. I don't know if that's enough or I should.
Oh no, that's perfect. As you were talking about your story, in the beginning, I definitely identify with growing up in Pittsburgh. I was also in an abusive household, mainly in the hands of my mother and my stepfather. I have two sisters as well, so um, we definitely have PTSD from that. For me, it's mainly PTSD, anxiety, and depression. So I definitely identify with you when it comes to that and being a person of color and just not kind of putting things under the rug just to keep going. Yeah, definitely. So when did you first become aware of your mental health challenges?
I wasn't. I wouldn't say that I was aware that I had mental health challenges. Again, I wasn't used to this language even back then in the 2000s or whatever. Um, on and off, I was aware. I mean, I knew suicide, attempted suicide. It's not normal. I mean, it's not healthy, but it's something that I did a lot. Uh, I did a lot of self harm, cutting and just extreme stuff, man. Just getting into a lot of fights um, under the influence, and even when I was sober, I was just, um, you know, when you're growing up around violence, that's what you know,
Exactly.
and so it was kind of, unfortunately, it's kind of normalized in our culture. Well, it's effed up, man. It's effed up because it shouldn't be that way. And I understand that now, but back then it was just normal. I just figured like this is it, but I knew deep down that something's up, something's not right. And the more uh, relationships I sabotaged, the more I moved, the more I went from job to job. I started realizing that something's not right. So I would say in my early 30s, I was in a relationship and I ended it because, I just, it was a good relationship. It was a good person, but I ended it because I was scared. I was scared to open up. I was scared to take the next step. And then I remember that was the first time I actually went and found a therapist and started talking. And that was the beginning right there.
Yeah, I think when we're young, this is why I think children are very, very intelligent, very intelligent more than we give them credit for. It's like they have this kind of sense like something is wrong, this don't look right, this don't feel right. So yeah, I think when you're young, you start to realize, but then you're kind of forced to shut it off and then just kind of move through life. Um, and I think there's a certain point where you just say, yeah, something's not right. And which leads me to my next question. How did you begin your recovery and your healing process?
Um, it was during my relationship with she was my girlfriend then, but she's my wife now. But before we got married, I was trying to sabotage that relationship. We broke up quite a few times, and but we just kept coming back to each other, and I knew that I didn't want to continue the way I've been going, and I've lied to her, uh, it's just so disrespectful, man. So disrespectful. And I don't know what it was, man. She saw something in me that I couldn't see in myself, but she stuck with it. But she did leave me 15, 16 years ago. It was the last straw, and she left me, like, for good, because I got my DUI. It was my second DUI, and I was going to county, and I don't know. My time came. It just clicked. All those group sessions, therapy, counseling, um, AA. It finally clicked. All those messages, all those people sharing, all those groups, and just sitting there. I mean, it's gonna land, but the ground wasn't fertile, and now finally it was fertile. I was able to receive those seeds that had been planted in me, and finally that day, man, I just said, "F it, man. I'm not going to end up in prison. I'm not going to end up by myself. I'm definitely not going to kill myself. So I want a good life. I'm tired of this stuff. I'm tired of living this way." And that's it. Definitely, if you want to answer, when was it? It was 16 years ago. Um, that was the day, August 22nd. So that was the road, and it was not an easy road. Still not easy, but it's getting easier as time goes on. Um, just putting in that work, man. Just putting in that work.
That work is definitely not for the faint of heart. I will say that. Wow, I commend you for that moment when you finally said enough's enough. And, it's very, very admirable of you. Um, uh, there's I want to say very few people in my life personally have had that moment. I was just learning by the wayside, and then I had people like NAMI and Connections House and you and the Peaceful Warriors. Um, so, which leads me to my next question: what inspired you to start the Peaceful Warriors?
Teresa Flores has been a big piece of my life. I am alive a lot. A lot of the reason is because of her. She is a healer based out of San Francisco, and I started working with her um, before I sobered up, and then during my time of sobriety, I was doing AA hardcore for about 3 to 4 years. And then I started just noticing that I wanted something else. I wanted to be around people that looked more like me, and I wasn't finding that in AA. And sometimes AA leads a lot towards like Christianity, and I wasn't ready for that. Um, so I was looking, and I couldn't really find anything. So Teresa said, like, well, let's just start our own group. So we started it at a healing center, holistic space called Community Well in San Francisco, and we did that for about a year. We started the all men's support group, and I just pretty much was learning from her. And then I heard some guys I knew out of East Oakland um, took their own lives through alcoholism, and yeah, it really hit me because I felt like we need more spaces for men to receive support, especially men of color, and there aren't a lot that's not associated with AA or a religious group. So a group for the average homie, they're out there, but not many, especially here in the Bay Area. So that's when I started to. I reached out to a friend who I haven't spoken to in a minute, out in East Oakland. He's born and bred, and I said, "Hey, bro, this is where I'm at. I'm healing. I'm in recovery, and I'm doing this work. And would you be interested of doing something like this with me?" And he said yes. he actually said, I've been thinking about quitting drinking and get my stuff together. So I said, cool. And it's been great because a lot of times when you meet people and you try to build something and create something, sometimes egos get in the way, sometimes life gets in the way, and the passion is not there and they kind of fall off. This kind of work is crucial for you to really stick with it. And we've learned a lot. And I'm really grateful for my friend and co-creator of the Peaceful Warriors because he's still doing it and he's sober and he's doing great things with this medicine. Like we call it medicine, and yeah, that's about. It's been almost 13 years. I've been saying 10 years, but I've been saying that for the past couple of years. So I talked to him the other day, and he's like, "Yeah, no, we're about 13 years of doing this." So I'm really proud of him. I'm really grateful for this man to stick by his word and really see the value of healing and the medicine that we're tapping into that we want to share and inspire other men to bring this into their work life, partner life, family life, and into their community. That's the goal, my personal goal, when I do this work.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, that was. I remember coming into support group and I did not know what to expect. Um, and when I walked in, I saw people like myself. It was like you said, the average homie, and I was able to learn from you guys, and I was able to just let my guard down because I saw it was genuine. And like you said, we need more spaces for men of color. There's not a whole lot, and there's few and far in between, but I feel like there definitely needs to be more, especially for people like us who struggle for years with, mental health, substance abuse, things to cope, but they actually end up hurting us in the end, and which is really, really sad. And I feel like anyone can benefit from this. So, how has helping others influenced your healing?
It inspires me to stay on the path. Um, you can't do this by yourself. So when you're in service of others, when you're in service for the greater good, it keeps you on the path. It humbles you, um, and always to be in the state of mind of being a student, always learning. I never, bless you. I, I never claimed to be like, some people over the years have called me a healer, and and I appreciate the sentiment, but I always tell them that I'm a healer in the sense that I know how to heal myself. I'm learning how to heal myself, but I am not a healer. I can inspire, I can support, but I don't do that. There are healers out there, and they're very, very gifted and talented um, with what they do. But no, I'm not. I'm not that. I'm just someone that's just trying to stay on the path, to learn, and I'm always learning. It's just amazing what this journey has brought into my life. Um, More understanding of who I am, how I function, and just develop a real deep awareness of what this medicine is and how it affects other people, and practicing empathy and compassion with other people, really hearing, really learning to listen to other people is is very important because then you get to understand who they are, and you're able to just be there with them. You might not necessarily be able to do much at times, but just being there, knowing that you're there, is powerful. Sometimes we overthink it, and burnout is real too in this work that we do. So you got to be able to just understand that you can't fix everything. But what you can do, the only control you have is taking care of you. If you could take care of you, then you could be of service to other people. And that's one of the biggest things, if anything, when working with people, is like take care of you. Take care of you. Find out who you are and what your needs are, and create the boundaries in your life, because it's really hard out there. Unfortunately, a lot of us live in a dysfunctional family that can't offer emotional support, financial support, spiritual support, um, but they're family, and so somehow we gotta learn how to navigate around them. And also in life, sometimes we're creatures of we're pack people, man. So we want to be around people, but learning how to be around folks for some people is crippling. The anxiety is off the hook. And for some people, whatever a handful of friends you have, you're stressing because of the drama this and the drama that. So just learn your place, learn who you are. Are you contributing to the relationship? Are you using it as a coping mechanism? I don't know. But these are things that we talk a lot about in group, and it's been very humbling, very humbling.
Very much so. Just kind of off the cuff, we got two final questions. I just want to ask off the cuff, was there a moment that you saw somebody else's life transform where it just really, like, just really inspired you? You don't have to mention any names at all.
Yeah. I've been doing this for about 13 years, and I've seen. That's why, yes, I have seen many, not just men. I work with like women as well. Not as much, but in the man I'm working with, and I get to meet the partner, and we have discussions, and it's beautiful because when the man is really working at it, it really does affect the relationship in a good way. So yeah, I've seen couples really start to heal and transform, and then it has a ripple effect to the family. Sometimes I'll get a referral because, oh, my cousin says great things about you, and then I start working with the individuals. So I work with individuals one on one, but I also work in group settings. But yeah, man, I've seen it. I've seen it, and that's why I know that this works. I know in myself it works because I'm still here, and I feel good about myself,
Yeah.
and so I know speaking for me, but I could also kind of expand on it and say it's not just me, but I have receipts, I've witnessed, I've had people that I could call on to, and they could share their story and say yes, this does work. It's not easy, but it does work.
Yeah, I definitely can contest to that. I definitely believe that the work that you're doing really does work. And I just say kudos to you for just staying the course. Staying the course. It's not easy to do. I'm still 6 years into my healing journey. It doesn't get easier, but it's rewarding. Last two questions. One of which is looking back, what would you tell your younger self at the beginning of your journey?
Mm, I would say that you're going to be all right. You're going to endure a lot. You're going to go through some stuff, but you're going to be okay. The pain will become your medicine, and you'll be able to share it and help others.
Beautiful. Love it. For someone who is struggling right now, what would you want them to hear?
Um, I th- it's an interesting question because I feel a lot of times we talk a lot and we don't listen enough. So for the person that's struggling, I would just listen. I'm here to hear whatever you want to share. If you don't want to share, that's fine. I'm just here. I'm a person here, ready to support you when you're ready.
I don't know why I'm getting a little emotional right now. Um, wow. Thank you. Thank you for being with us and sharing who you are. Thank you for giving us your time. Very much appreciated. So, without any further ado, that is our episode. Thank you all for joining us at this moment, and we will see you next time. Bye bye.
Thank you, Donald. Thank you, Connection House. It's been a pleasure.